Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Monday morning, September 12th. How is everyone doing today? A little chillier here, lots of rain yesterday, cloudy and cold. Wearing a jacket already. Good morning, Davy. George, hello. I think you meant Mike. September needs to start acting like September. Well, not a day does a month make. And remember, we got a lot of price action still to go. We have over half the month left. And so don't worry about that. We got lots of fireworks, even starting tomorrow with the CPI. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Kenzie. Welcome. Hey, Waka Waka. How is everything overseas? Good morning, Legion Reaver. Mushroom hunting season has begun here in UK. So are you a mushroom hunter, Waka Waka? You looking for what kind of mushrooms you hunting? All right, you let me know that in the comments. By the way, I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Let's just get off to it. We got new people coming in all the time, closing on 5,500 subscribers. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and ringing the bell. Longer term subscribers, you already know what to do. Let's just leave it at that. Uh, the normal. I wasn't referring to the not normal type. I was referring to, I may be wearing a tie dye, but I'm not referring to psychedelic mushrooms at 8 a.m. Chicago time on a Monday morning. I was wondering what uh, specific normal type of mushrooms. You're not just going off the standard ones. I mean, are we going off? I don't know. Do truffles even grow in England? I don't know. I mean, I'm familiar with them in Italy. Hey, Chris. See, George, your head's in the gutter too. We're not doing psychedelic mushrooms on a Monday morning. No need for the psychedelic. Got enough crazy going on in the markets. Yeah, we don't need any more. If these markets aren't causing your head to look at things differently already, then I don't know what will. Porcini. Okay. I love some good porcini mushrooms. Fantastic. Let's see. Today, keep peeking at consumer inflation expectations. That's a minor one because of that survey, and then nothing else. Remember, CPI tomorrow, slightly green to mixed this morning, but we are up a bit. FOMC slight pullback to 88%, but still favoring that 75 basis point very strongly. Ignore the green line. We're roughly trading when I last peaked right before the live stream above 4,100, which is right at zero gamma. So we're virtually at zero gamma right now. Continued rally, dampening effect because dealers are selling in. Now, since we're not yet in positive gamma really far, any sell-off does tip us back into negative gamma and can potentially minorly start an acceleration at downside. We already went through that. That's all we need to go through. This morning, nothing on earnings after. Do not be caught off guard by Oracle. Can have some impact on the NASDAQ especially, and tech. So please keep an eye on that. Good morning, options 22. All right. Now we have cycles at the top, not yet confirmed rollover. Overbought really close to the top. A close. We're going to have to see how this bar closes, but I'll bring that up after the markets. But I'm watching for potentially a choppier, more toppier day. On the continued rally, though, 41.30 is the pretty significant resistance area. You might want to go slightly lower. I'll give a little window here since we might be choppier. I'd go roughly about 41.24 to 41.30, giving us a little window to the upside. Going into this morning, though, my first key level, we're at 40.96. If we break down below that, I'm watching these key 2-bar lows with the rising 4-hour rotation zone about 40.82. Things get a little more interesting. Not expecting Huge momentum today, but you got to be prepared. We do break below 40.82. You are into a clear path move virtually down. It continues beyond this 40.26, but 40.26 would be the next major level I'd be focusing on, not just for today, with 40.58 being a minor stopping point. 40.58 is this little 1 hour resistance ledge and the 50 exponential on the 4 hour to the upside. Gave you my window. Let's see if we can fine tune that a little. Fine tune it a little with using the most recent little harmonic pause area. And look at, all right, we got 41.24 still. To 41.30, if we did make a power move above there, 41.45. Remember, anywhere between this 41.05 to 41.61 is the key area we're watching for a top. So we've already poked into the topping area. How'd I come up with those? That's between the 50 and the 62.5 harmonic for the rollover. Also remember this major prior breakdown zone. So major prior support becoming resistance. There is a fair amount of overhead resistance on a push up here. So I'll be watching for shorter term topping patterns. NASDAQ, let's just breeze through this. 12.814. Remember 12.831 is the 50% level. So that's the area I'm targeting on upside pushes today. On upside pushes, and then we get above there for 12.896 to 12.900. Those are what I'm watching for on the upside. To the downside, first little area going into the open. Going into the open about 12.682. My significant area I'll be watching is about 12.635 with the 4 hour rotation zone. You start getting below there, you are into a clear path move. Minor stopping point 12.538. More significant 12.419. 4 hour cycles also rolling over, so pay attention to that with daily cycles being at the top. We could be putting in the toppy formation. Dow is trading against this 32,350 area, this breakdown area, trading against it right now. Through that, I'm just targeting the prior highs, 32,456, then 32,518. Key support for me is 32,200, then 32,100, then 31,985. Russell, 1900 is my next level on a push up, and then above that 1915, key support 1870. The DAX, pretty strong move up here in the DAX, especially with the strong rally in the euro. 13,371 is the next target, very key target area. This breakdown zone from before, the tops from the 25th and 26th of August, and the 37.5% harmonic. Notes, yes, this is a sloppy double bottom right here. You can see it on the 4 hour. That would be the only thing. Remember, CPI tomorrow, so this is a riskier trade, but you need at least a 4 hour close above 116.23. And it is against the daily rotation zone, so it's slightly lower probabilities. Other than that, there's nothing going on in the notes. It's a consolidation pattern. I'm still watching for the next rollover play unless it's a little mini double triggers. Dollar index continuing its pullback, getting beat up, but now back to the reset on the weekly rotation zone. Also back to the prior breakout area. Remember, don't focus on highs first. Focus on key closes and opens and your rotation zone. So now we've reset that on a weekly basis. We do have an resumptive buy back above potentially today's high if we close back down here. So I will be watching for that. On any rally, I'm targeting 108.55 area. If we continue the pullback, the next major area is the 50 to 62.5%. I'm not focusing on the 50-day yet, exponential. I'm focusing on the 50%, which is 107.65. I'm looking for some key support right there. VIX, gap up from Friday's close, and then a slight little pullback. Won't get into overly bearish mode until we start moving really above 2360 off the open, and won't get into more bullish mode until we get below about 25, and then I'd just be watching for Friday's closing price. But if we did start trending down towards Friday closing price, I would have to stay in short-term bullish mode going into tomorrow. Crude, remember, got that runaway buy mode on Friday. Coming up to this key level, 88.50 I talked about yesterday. If we do eke out a little more upside, 89.50, but this is where aggressively trailing a stop for any long positions. That is the 50% run up on this last sell-off, with daily cycles getting to the top. Also on crude. Let's see. We'll get to the spider. We'll get to the spiders right after I peek in on a couple things. Euro is running up into the 50 to 62.5. Rejected from that earlier test of 62.5 in this breakdown area. So I'm watching where it closes in roughly relation to 101.50 to about 101.60. A close above 101.60 is a close actually above a pretty key breakdown zone, and we could see some more potential upside, but 101.80 is the real probability close level, which then we'd start targeting the higher short-term prices, but we are in the rollover zone. However, your support coming in at 100.80 and then 100.50 is major support, so there's no great signal, although we've returned to daily cycles at the top. Still, weekly cycles have a little more room to run up, so that's why I'm not looking for the short side just yet, but I am keeping an eye on it. Now, knocking out Tesla. Slight gap up against key resistance. We covered this yesterday. 302, we start making a run above 302. Minor would be 306, but majors 311 to 313. All right, and this is another area you can use reverse harmonics back to this level to fine tune stuff. So you can also use about 308 was a stop, at least a stop raise level, and then your major harmonic is right between that 311 and 313, coming in at 313.12 to 313.94. So that's how you can use your reverse. Spiders, not much has changed. We had that, besides those, we now have that gap up. So on the opening, if we do have market weakness, we'll be watching on the gap fill to the 406.60 closing price. Other than that, choppy to bullish mode, 410.07 is the next major target higher. It's already... This was tough with the open and hitting. This has to be traded on a short-term basis and already hit the stop production. So I would not give this a lot of wiggle room, especially below 404.80, because then you're trading into this clear path move. So do keep that in mind if we really start pulling back, and that's just not for today. Today, the first thing would be to the gap fill. A lot of people will, though, target 407.11, 407.20, this little area before the gap fill. So I would, again, if you're trying to trade this shorter term, would not ignore that on any opening pullback for potential little key choppy or support if we do stay in choppy. I will be focusing on the tick and trend within the first 15 minutes today to try to gauge how we're going to react going forth in this morning to see. That's how I'm looking at it. The Qs. The first key target from this double is 309.15. So on any bullish mode, we're at 308.45, 309, 309.15 is the first target area on the run up today. If we break down, the closing price is right pretty much at the support ledge, 307.19 to 307.05 is my support zone. We break down below 305, then I'm 307.05, then I'm going to be targeting 305.50. And then below 305.50 gets interesting because you are into a clear path move and you have the gap from Friday left behind. But not expecting anything. I'm not expecting that today, but again, we have to be prepared. Have to always be prepared. Let's see. I'm just trying to scan through things I don't have to respond to. Good morning, Rams of Fall. Wait, was there a NASDAQ? NASDAQ doesn't split? Wait, is there a split comment on the NASDAQ? That would be funny. Hey, let's have a split in the spiders or the Qs. Let's just split them. That would be funny. Oh, boy. You are welcome, Chris. Waka Waka's been trading since 1996, and not my first rodeo. Every time we top, we get Super Bulls, and every time they get wiped out. And I've been trading since 92. So we're the old timers, Waka Waka. It's so funny how stuff rhymes. Doesn't have to necessarily repeat exactly, but stuff rhymes. And what's also funny is I find it funny that you can't have short-term bull. Every time you watch for longer-term rollovers, everybody criticizes you for being a bear. But look, it triggered I talked about last week, triggering an aggressive buy, which triggered, and now this is a decent run-up from there. In the Qs and the spiders and the S&P and the NASDAQ. You know, you can get great bull plays. I don't know why everybody has to sit on one side of the fence or the other based off short-term plays. It's sort of funny. That's a completely untrue statement, Tom. Completely untrue. That's where you're not even logical, Tom, because that's why I'm ignoring your comments, but I will talk to this one. We had head and shoulder tops. Head and shoulder tops, everyone but the Russell, and the Russell hit the first and second and came within spitting distance of the third, but the S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow all hit the head and shoulder tops on this pullback, as documented on this channel. What do you mean you can't make money on the bearish side? That was a complete pullback that hit all three targets before bottoming. So that's an absurd statement. That's where you lose you don't have any credibility anyways, but if you attempted to have credibility, a statement saying you can't make any money to the bear side in this market is absolutely ludicrous because we just showed topping patterns that hit all three targets. And then I listed out last week, go back and watch it. And anybody new here, go back to the beginning of last week. I said how you'd play this on a break above the September 6th high is an intraday signal. As long as you close above that, it's a daily buy. And look, we've had one that day on the close and 1-2 we're following through, and today's still an up day. Now, with cycles being at the top, it's a very aggressively trail stops for the potential rollover. Can it continue higher? Yeah. That's why I said trail stops and take something off. I'm also responding to this. I know people say don't get worked up, and I'm not worked up. I'm responding to this because a lot of people do tune in. We're grabbing a lot more subscribers from people who want proper market analysis. So people can see the comments scroll by, and if I don't ever address them, you know, it's not people thinking that this is a proper channel that addresses things. So that's how it's unfolded recently. So today, watching for choppy, bullish, unless we start breaking down with the VIX. And when I talked about tick and trend, really watch for if we have an equal balance tick, then I'm going into more choppy bullish / choppy bearish with trailing from the bullish side, trailing. If we start going into lopsided with momentum, meaning we're getting tick downs between 1,000 and 1,200 with only bounces to tick positive to 400s or 500s, that would be a strong down momentum day. A strong up momentum day would be constant ticks above 1,000 with spikes above 1,200 with pullbacks sitting constantly above zero. So there you go. Giving some of the longer term members a little more things of what I watch. Strategy Freeman, can't make money. I'm having my best year ever. These are tactical trading markets. What do we mean by tactical trading, everybody? Can it be traded from both sides in tactical trading? Yes. Do you get blind and married to one side? No. It's why it's called tactical trading. And most bear markets, until you get the major downside momentum, are very tactical trading. Hey, Lauren. So I hope people long-term members, I appreciate, and the long-term traders tuning in and making this such a valuable channel. Not only for the, for your constant comments, but also for newer people who are trying to learn proper analysis and mindsets. That is what we are here for. Not to be caught off guard on either side. So, I will wrap it up for now. Hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Remember, we could stay choppier with CPI coming in tomorrow. Don't get caught off guard with Oracle after hours earnings. And with that, I will talk to everyone later. Remsfall, I missed you last week while I was away. Well, I'm glad you are back, Remsfall. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go, Chris. Colorado Rockies are still beautiful. They are very beautiful. I love visiting the Colorado Rockies. You are welcome, Waka Waka. You are welcome, George. Again, have a fantastic trading day. Bye for now.